This podcast is sponsored by Darling Eyewear. Activate your alter ego with Darling Eyewear and start seeing life through a different set of lenses. Shop darlingeyewear.com. Tell them Demetrius Lee and Angela Lee in the Lee Life Experience Podcast sent you. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to a new episode of the Lee Life Experience Podcast. You have Angie and Demetrius here, and we will be your hosts for this evening. So again, Demetrius, how you doing?
Doing just lovely, honey bunch. Thank you for asking.
All right, if you are new here, we want to say welcome. If you are some of our A1 since day one, then we want to say welcome back. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. And don't forget to tell a friend about the Lead Life Experience Podcast. So today, Demetrius, we are going to go to the big city of Atlanta.
Hold on, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to our stepdaughter, Miss Toot, for the newborn baby, the boy in the family. So, yeah.
I don't know why you say stepdaughter. It's our goddaughter. And again,
well,
yeah,
you want to call it?
Yeah, well, that's what it is. She is.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the we're gonna give we have a new addition to the family. His name is Machias, and I call him Baby Kai, and he's growing up so beautifully. So shout out to my girl, Miss Toot. Yeah, so he looked just like her, and like I said, just giving me more to love. Giving me more to somebody to love. We already have two by my bonus daughter, and then now we having a new addition in one, and then we have one on the way. So we're gonna we growing the family all at one time.
I gotta tell my edit man, I tell you, man, we got a baby coming up. I told him you just had a baby. Now I got another one coming out.
Yeah.
So, but we got about 8-9 more months for that one.
Yeah, we got time. We got time. So Demetrius, we are staying in. We're gonna go a little further in Georgia. We're going to Atlanta. So let me read you this. And again, if you want to get your questions heard, I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumping myself since Demetrius and I have been off a little bit. I forgot my main intro. If you want to get your topics heard, or if you would like to be a guest, you can do that by texting 833-370-1608. Put relationships without an S in the comment, and I promise you, you will be able to get your topics. Or again, you don't have to agree with Demetrius and I. Maybe you have another perception, and you're like, Angie, I don't think I quite agree with you and Demetrius. We would love to hear you. You don't have to just put it in the comments. Again, you can be a guest to get your voice, over the airway, and we are on all your streaming platforms wherever you listen to your podcast. So again, you are able to find us on all your social media handles. It's the Lead Life Experience Podcast. And again, you can go if you with your phone and you listen to podcasts. We are on those as well. So Demetrius, let me get down into it. And you all, I'm sorry because my screen is like messing up my little bonnet, so I had to push the screen.
Your little head just keep this jumping off.
Shout out to shout out to my stylist Cassandra of Bella Unlimited Beauty Salon in Abbeville, South Carolina. So yeah, she always hooked me up and had my hair growing. So you all, let's talk to Jeremy. Jeremy says, Jeremy. He says, hi, my name is Jeremy. I am writing you from Atlanta, Georgia, because I am in a tough spot and could really use some wisdom. In May 2025, I found out that I'm HIV positive, and it has turned my world upside down. I'm struggling with these two big questions. How do I tell my recent sexual partner about this, and how can I figure out where I might have contracted it? I'm hoping your experience and perspective can help guide me through this. I'm 32 years old, I'm single, and I have been active in Atlanta dating scene for a while. The diagnosis came as a shock during a routine checkup. I have always tried to be careful, but clearly something slipped through the cracks. Now I'm wrestling with guilt, fear, and confusion about what to do next. I do need to inform my partner that there is a few people I have been intimate with over the past year, but I'm terrified. How do I even start that conversation? I don't want to hurt anyone or make them feel judged. But I also know that they need to know so they can get tested. Some of these connections were casual, and I'm not even sure how to reach everyone. What's the best way to approach this without causing a panic and shame? On top of that, I'm trying to understand, how did this happen? I've been racking my brain thinking about my encounters, and it's hard to pinpoint. I have read the tracing and the source of HIV and can be tricky. I don't want to play blame games, but I feel like knowing might give me some closure or help me to make sense of this. Is there a way to figure out where I contracted it? Maybe through medical records or testing timeline. I am just a lost on this part. I have been listening to your podcast for a while, and I'm trusting your advice because you tackle real life issues with honesty and heart. I'm scared, but I want to handle this responsibly for myself and for others. What steps should I take to tell my partner, and if it is even possible to determine where it came from? Any guidance you can share would mean the world to me. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I'm hoping your insight can help me navigate through the storm. Sincerely, Jeremy of Atlanta, Georgia.
I'll let you go first now, honey, but I mean, God don't matter. What you doing? Do like I'm doing a thing?
Yes.
I don't know. I know you got something to tell me real quick. I got to think about it.
Jeremy, first, I want to tell you, you are not alone. You are not alone. I mean, I know it's devastating. I know it's shell shock when you face with, and because I have been in the room personally, and I have witnessed these results getting out. Especially, and the thing is that you're single. I have been in the room and witnessed men being told this in front of their wives, and they didn't know that they were living an extra life.
Hold on, stop right there. Stop. I didn't know that. He asking, how did that go?
Say it again.
How did that go? That's what Jeremy kind of asked him. How do he tell somebody? You said you've been in the room when they told somebody.
No, the doctor just gave him the diagnosis. The man didn't tell the wife anything. I'm just saying I have witnessed the diagnosis being given. So I'm just getting him reassurance, because sometimes when we are given unfavorable diagnosis, that we feel shame, we feel the world going upside down. We feel that, I'm saying it because even when I got diagnosed with hypothyroidism, or even the brain tumor, Demetrius, I laid there like, how did this happen? Like, where did it come from? Like, how did I not know that I had been sick, or, what your symptoms are? So I want to just give him reassurance that you are not alone, and a lot of people are not having. And the good thing that I would say, Jeremy, it's a lot of HIV patients that live in a great, healthful life. I remember when I worked in Columbia, South Carolina, and that was a big headquarter. It's a large homeless population, and hematology is the name of the department that will be overseeing your case. And hematology deals with the blood. So it was a young lady, and when I say this young lady was beautiful, Demetrius, she was stunning. And she had a partner, this man, that he was not HIV positive, and he still wanted to be in a relationship with her because he looked past her diagnosis. So I'm saying it's people out there who will look beyond the situation. And again, HIV is a need to know basis. You don't have to go and promote this to everybody. That's a need to know. Only when you get intimate with somebody do you tell them. I'm sure it's doctors, lawyers. And I remember it was a doctor that was in South Carolina, and he had HIV. And guess what? We still went to him because he was a very great doctor. They made you sign a waiver. And on the waiver, it let you know that, hey, that he's still gonna do your care. Even with him doing your care, he's gonna double glove. He's gonna take all the precautions. They had to let us know that, hey, and he was a gynecologist. And that, hey, I'm a gynecologist, but I have this HIV, and he was living a homosexual lifestyle. But we still went to him, and I was young. And when I'm saying young, but that didn't deter me because I knew that he was Dr. B was a good doctor. So I'm just only saying that now, they've been so many, many years ago. Now they have what they call PrEP out here. PrEP is a precautionary medication that you could take to kind of not allow the other person to contract that. So, I mean, I know right now it's just shell shocking you having to go through the 5 stages of grieving. And a lot of times we're in denial until you get to the acceptance part. And, you know, and whether you go and get multiple tests done or whether you see symptoms that you notice. And a lot of HIV symptoms start with chills. You know, you feel like you got the flu. And I'm saying I done seen healthy, I done seen pastors that's coming in. I done seen nice looking people. I done seen not so attractive people. This disease does not discriminate. It doesn't matter. So, you know, trying to go back and backtrack, yeah, you can go back and see who your sexual partners were. And then it's again that they didn't even know, you know, because I had even Demetrius and I had even talked about it because Demetrius and I was separated for 10 years, well, divorced for 10 years, and we dated other people. And by the time Demetrius and I, you know, got back together and we were talking, and those were one of the things that came up for conversation. And we already know that, hey, it's the possibility that we already have been out here and we was in relationships, long-term relationships with these people. And you just pray that nothing like that comes up, you know, and at that time, and I still have heard it. I don't know what the statistics is, but I'm just going off this, that it could take up to 10 years for you to really even find out that it can just show up. And so if that data is still correct, now Demetrius and I are getting ready to come up on an 8-year anniversary. So listen, well, we got 2 years, Demetrius, to see if it's happened. But again, me and Demetrius and I are together and we married. So I remember Demetrius asking a question like a long time ago, and he said something about somebody asked him, and they was asking him a question kind of like what you saying, Jeremy, like what you'll do, and Demetrius like ain't nothing I can do. You know, it would be nothing if one of us came back, a person that you're dating now, and you already done been with them. Like, what's the point of leaving? What are you gonna do? But Jeremy, I admire you because you owe it to yourself for freedom, and you owe it to those people who you possibly, you know, had intercourse with, to allow them to go get tested and give them the freedom to know. You know, and again, you know, people deserve, not everybody have integrity. And I mean, cause it's evident you didn't have it. Somebody gave it to you. That's one thing about it. You can't just get it from, you know, just from and sleeping in the bed. So it has to be transmitted.
That's right.
And because it has to be transmitted, somebody gave it to you knowingly or unknowingly. And, you know, you would hate to think that we're living in times, but Demetrius, unfortunately, we are living in a time where people are deliberately giving people these diseases because they want to hurt somebody else. They don't care about hurting you. So Jeremy, I'm gonna give it over to Demetrius and see what his standpoint from a male perspective. I gave you mine.
Jeremy, I'm gonna start out kind of my wife say, at least you think about telling somebody, man, telling to these people, because you need to let them know. Mm-hmm. I know it's gonna be a hard thing to do because you got it for somewhere, but I seen a couple of stories people didn't tell people, go to jail for that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I know they're gonna get mad and feel the type of way, but hey, man, stand on your 2 feet, be honest, tell the truth. And I'm gonna tell you something. My wife was talking about the HIV thing. I never forget. I took I don't know, about 20 years, 15 years ago, I took a test, HIV test. And of course, it came back, and the lady and I was happy. She said, "Don't get happy." She said, "You got 10 years. Every person you slept with, it's 10 years. It take 10 years to show up." So I was kind of disappointed to me, and I knew right then in my life, I wasn't gonna run around with no more women. And I hope these women that I was dealing with, one at a time when I was dealing with, they weren't doing that kind of stuff. Because, even though I'm doing the right thing, they could be at that transmitting, doing that, Jeremy. So, man, I don't know what to tell you. Besides what you say you're going to do, go in and talk to these ladies, be honest with them, tell them that you didn't know, and you saw it and go get checked, man. And it matter who have it. You know what I'm saying? That matter they ain't got it. That's why you got to tell them, man. And back off, man. And like I said, like my wife say now, she know more than I know because she's in the medical field. They got medicine you can get, man. She can live a normal life, man. I saw some on TV, you can get it. It won't show up. You can have unprotected sex. What medicine they got out. But man, I'm heard a lot of stories, Jerry. I've been around people, man, who got that stuff, man. You know, I say they don't want to say nothing about it, but you know, when you're in a small town, the word get out. They get around to certain people. You know they got it, but they won't say nothing about it. That's kind of like people have herpes. Same way like that. They don't want to take, but I wouldn't do nobody like that. I would not put nobody in a situation. I know I had it. Now, I don't know I got it that I can do about it. But I'm going to tell somebody. I'm going to give them a choice. I'm going to tell them what's been told to me. And a person like you enough, they're going to still marry you anyway, man. I mean, it sounds crazy because they know people, most people know about the medicine out there. Like my wife says, she in the medical field. They got medicine, man. That thing won't, you take your medicine, they won't even try and meet the other person. And I just, that's a touchy thing there.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, yeah, you got to go. You're going to have to go talk to them people. But then what do we do for yourself? I mean, you they get some psychological help? Cause I mean,
I mean, all this is, you know, Demetrius, that's the reason why we don't know, but everybody, I told Demetrius that's where my studies, you know, I really love the psychology of how the brain works. You can make yourself happy and you can make yourself sad. It really is that simple. And it's called, because we so emotional, these emotions that he's feeling. But Demetrius, if he was in a loving, nurturing relationship and had somebody to go through this with him, he'll feel a little bit better. But when you on the island and you by yourself, and I'm saying it because, like I said, I work in the emergency room, I see it, I hear it. People go through things. You would be amazed at the amount of people, professional, career people, minded people that still would try drugs. I mean, hardcore drugs. I mean, white lady drugs that you wouldn't believe, and you thinking like, you're a divorce, you're an attorney, you're a criminal attorney, and why would you even allow yourself? I mean, it's easy when you have you're not thinking on that level, but when yourself get down in a dumps, how do you protect yourself on that part?
Yeah.
So I can tell you, Jeremy, surround yourself with somebody in your family, or, they have support groups. They have 800 numbers, and I'm researching now because I want to give you some resources, because I don't want you to go through, this alone. I want you to be able to educate yourself. Because again, the first thing you think, like, who's gonna love you? Listen, somebody still will love you. Somebody will still love you. And like Demetrius said, when you go to diseases there's no cure for, something such as herpes, somebody still will love you. I know several people that has been diagnosed, and guess what? Those ladies have babies, more than one, by more than one partner. So don't think life is over. I know in our mind, when we get diagnosis like that, we feel, oh, nobody's gonna love us. No, I can't find love. Here I am having HIV. Nobody's gonna love us. Here I am, I'm gonna get my leg cut off, and I'm just giving you other health issues that's tragic, so you can be able to relate, and you think like, yeah, I know somebody that's wheelchair bound and they still got a wife, or she still got a husband. Yeah, I know somebody who had a mental breakdown, and guess what? The husband didn't leave, or the wife didn't leave. So I'm just telling you that when you connect with the right person, God will send you the right lineup that's gonna look past whatever it is you're going through. You didn't say that you were living on a down low. You didn't say, so I'm going to assume you were living a heterosexual life. But, if you were living a homosexual life, that would be something that you need to visit too, because if you are bisexual and you fluent with both genders, I think that's something that you need to come out, about. I know a lot of us, especially Black people, we have that stigma, but you can be attracted to the opposite sex, and that's really who you want to be with. But because of your reputation, you can't live out loud. And I would hope people can be able to live out loud, because psychologically, that's not good. It's not good that if I like red people, but I can only be in public with blue people. I'm just giving examples now. And I'm just saying that if those, it'd be the same thing even for race. If just like a lot of people giving Shannon Sharp a hard time, about leaving Snow Bunny's alone. But if that's who he like, and Black women just don't do it for him, who is it for us to judge? Who is it for us to be able to put color or limitations on, what it is that you like? So I think number one, you have to come to grips on who you are, what you are, and being able to know that when you're living in a lifestyle, heterosexual or homosexual, these things are gonna come, and because you having sex with more than one person. See, that I think that's where most of your trauma's coming from, because you don't know who did it. See, Demetrius is a little bit better about like, oh, I slept with Demetrius. But if I have slept with and I got kind of like a roster, then Demetrius, that's a little harder to, to go and tell all these people. And now everybody know your business, and half of them might come back,
But check this out. You say you slept with some people and say they do come back, they got it. You might have given them. They might have gave it to you. They don't know who. You don't know who gave who.
Yeah,
that's the problem. But he's gonna be the one to step up to the plate and tell them they are turning against him.
Yeah, they might turn against him, but you still have to realize that would make them go look back, Demetrius. Because if I haven't slept with anybody, and if I'm only being intimate with you, and I go and get tested, and I come back and I was like, okay, Demetrius, I slept with you, I slept with Paul, I slept with John.
Yeah, now.
Huh?
Yeah, woman, yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, but if that's the case, and I slept with you, a John and a Paul, then when I approach y'all, then I go one by one. Okay, Demetrius, if you my most recent partner, then I go and I tell you to get tested. Then if it's not you, then I go on to the next one.
Okay, so you tell me to get tested, it ain't me.
That's right. But I'm going on to the next one.
Yeah. Okay, say I get tested, it is me. Still, they go to the next one. Still, you got to tell them, don't you?
No, I probably wouldn't tell them.
Why you wouldn't tell them? You going 3 people, and I got it. So why you know they ain't got it?
But I would say if they don't have it, if I haven't been with them, say if I mess with you in June. I mean, say I mess with you in May.
Okay.
And I know I haven't talked to Paul since December. Why am I gonna go worry about Paul? I already found.
How you know Paul didn't get to? How you know Paul didn't get to you?
I found the source. I don't know
how you know you didn't get to me. How you know Paul didn't get to you and you gave it to me?
Yeah, wait a minute. Yes, that is a possibility. But there's a possibility. But I'm gonna tell you something. Normally, if I hadn't been with Paul since December, your symptoms gonna come sooner than it. I would have had the symptoms way before then.
Oh, you talking about symptoms or something?
That's right, because if I know whoever my recent partner is, it's challenging, Demetrius. If I had
hold on, I don't know now. I'm asking for everybody on this podcast.
Yeah.
And you say symptoms, you talking about it's tested positive for HIV, or you talking about?
I'm talking AIDS? About when I started feeling bad.
What that mean? You got AIDS or it's HIV still?
No, no, HIV is before you get AIDS.
Okay, so you get symptoms, that means you got AIDS.
No. I'm just telling you, if I got symptoms, I came in contact with something. HIV turns and develop into AIDS. AIDS don't come first. HIV does.
But I'm saying when you get symptoms, you have HIV. If I'm asking.
It doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter whether it's HIV or AIDS. I'm just saying that he's got HIV. He got HIV. But when I talk to you, if I mess with Paul in December and here it is way in May, and I'm just getting symptoms, Paul didn't give it to me. Because I would have started showing, I would have had symptoms before then.
I went further than you, because what you do for a living, a medical field.
No, I'm just telling you, you're gonna have some. That's the same thing with herpes breakout. If you had sex with somebody in December, you gonna have that breakout somewhere around that time. If it doesn't come, but you done slept with multiple people, then Demetrius, now we got to go and tell everybody. If I slept with you on Monday, slept with him on Thursday, slept with somebody else on the following week on Monday, yeah, everybody, it's a party pack. But if I know I haven't been with that person and I've been fine all the way up until, and then you is my newest sex partner, and you and I done messed around, and here it is 2 weeks. Now I feel like I got chills. I got body ache. Then that's what I'm telling you. So now that I got symptoms, I'm going to the doctor and they telling me this. So like I said, it's always a percentage that don't go that way. But majority of it, whoever your source is, that's the same thing when I talk to people about detoxification. I mean, when I talk about food poisoning, it's impossible for you to go to Mexico, and I'm just using Mexico. If you come back, majority of the people that are going to have food poisoning, or time they tell us that, hey, I've been feeling bad, I've been throwing up, and then we'll ask, did you drink the ice? Yeah. Especially when they say they went on a trip, where did you go? Because Mexico is known for that bad contaminated ice.
It got me for 5 months like that. I didn't know. I went to the doctor 4 months. That's what I had.
So that's what I'm saying. But again, you had symptoms. So we know that if you been fine up until you just came back from it, you was like, hey, yeah, I've been to Mexico. I went to Mexico last week. That's where your source is. If you've been fine before then, you was doing nothing. But whoever your source is, wherever you got your source from, that's how we able to kind of backtrack and say, because it's an entry point, but it's no time frame on how long HIV. It's no time frame for the herpes complex, because the herpes complex, it lays within the skin dormant. So it's a skin-to-skin contact disease. So say you got an outbreak or you had intercourse with somebody who had an outbreak, maybe you didn't notice. Maybe you didn't notice that little scratch on their butt. Everybody know not to mess with something that's gonna be all bumped up. They're not gonna do that. A lot of way that it's transmitted because it's being laying dormant and they have some kind of break in their skin. And that's what people are not realizing. When you change in position, it is a skin to skin. And y'all can fact check me. And if I'm not 100% accurate, I know I'm very close because it's a skin to skin contact. So it can lay dormant in the skin. So you're not going to have an outbreak all the time. When I hear men say that, they're like, oh, I wear condoms. Condoms can't protect you from herpes.
Sure can.
So when I hear people say, oh, you know what, I wear a condom, but you having oral sex, you're not wearing no condoms when you're doing oral sex. Very minimum people are using dental dam. Now I'm saying it because you all know I used to sell adult novelties for years.
What is dental dam?
Dental dam is what they put over your mouth, kind of like a protection. It's like a thin film you use to have oral sex.
Oh my God, I never heard of no shit like that in my life.
But again, that was my industry, so I worked in it for 7 years. So I know. That's what I'm telling you, that when people say stuff like that, just keep you and your sex partners to yourself, because it does not sound like a very educated person when you saying, oh, but I wore condoms. Condoms don't protect from that. When you have oral sex, and oral sex is a part of sex now, you're not gonna go that far and then you're not doing oral. That's oral, just it's part of the program. It's part of the foreplay. So again, you can get these things transmitted in your mouth. And especially when I hear people say, oh, I just let her blow me off. You don't know what sore she got in her mouth. You don't know if she got a bad tooth in there. So you all be careful out here in these streets, because I'm telling you, it's not gonna look like what you think. Everybody got common sense and they can see an outbreak penis or how a outbreak broken vagina look with sores and scabs on it. It's not gonna look that way. It's gonna be on somebody who you least expect, that's very pretty. Even when you talk about nice looking women, you wonder why they got a vagina scent. And you're like, she was so fine. But again, she don't know that her vagina has that kind of odor, or that somebody else can smell it. But I'm pretty sure the reason why that has happened is because she is allowing somebody to blow her club up, and she's not immediately getting up, going to get that stuff to run back out her.
Oh, hey, on that note, let's take a break.
All right, this is the Lead Life Experience Podcast. Welcome back. We have enjoyed the break and listen. If you are just tuning in and we want to get you at the part, we are talking to Jeremy, a 32-year-old Black man that is talking about his new diagnosis of HIV. He don't really know how to tell his other sex partners, but he's single. And he's been out here mingling, and now he's devastated because he want to know how did this happen, because he considered himself being so careful. But it can happen to the best. And then he was asking, what is a way to approach his partners? So listen, ladies, if this is you and you listening out, please comment and let us know, how would you want somebody to tell you? How would you want somebody to tell you that's been in your past? Would you want to know? Or would you want them to not even include you at all? So, tune in and let us know. Demetrius, did you say you was going somewhere with this? Did you have another?
Yeah, I had a friend of mine, a dude I knew years ago, about 10 years, 9 years ago. And I ain't know him like that, but by me knowing he was a cool fellow, nice fellow, he wasn't loud mouth or nothing. But he remember this woman heard that she gave him that. He didn't know it when he found out he had it. Yeah, he in jail right now. He wasn't a violent man then. But that man, but it says some dude came out of Atlanta, Georgia, went to this plant up there in Advil. It's a plant in Greenville, South Carolina. I ain't gonna call the name because I don't want to get nobody riled up. But he went, they say he gave it about 15, 20 girls in there. Dude did.
Yeah.
Yeah, HIV. So, you talking about Atlanta, Georgia, Jeremy. I mean, anybody listen to this podcast, Atlanta, Georgia, a big place. And I look at it back on the news, it's number one, HIV.
Mm-hmm.
And you got people going with all, you got, so you got bisexual everywhere, and you got, there's people doing all kind of like sexual things. They ain't thinking about sex. They just doing it. I had a lot of fellas tell me, women tell them when they put a condom on, they don't want it on. Man, dude, men, if a woman tell you, you got to be crazy. And no, what the hell I'm doing that. That's a red flag to me to get the H out of there. She want me to pull that thing out? Hey, I said, all right, I'll be right back. All she knows, she hit my cup at that 5 New York. Boom! I'll be getting the hell out of there. So, man, y'all got to think about it. And women, you got a man, he want to, like and say, have all sex with you. Yeah, that's the. I had a girl tell me one time that a man did it like that. He gave her gonorrhea. What you say? A man, he had all sex with her and broke out with gonorrhea, gave her gonorrhea. So y'all better be careful who y'all doing that stuff with. Cause me, my wife, they say, well, you did it. Yeah. I probably gonna got by. I don't know about I had some wood, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna got by with it. Y'all young people that mess around, y'all better think twice. Out there laying down, having sex with people, you don't know who you messing with, who they messing with. They might be the person you met might be a good person. But they might have had one person 5 years ago. And let that study go change. That woman told me it take every person you slept with, it take 10 years. 10 years. So you gotta think about that. How you gonna backtrack that? So I mean, I'm telling women and men, this podcast, please be careful. It should be kind of law that you make everybody go get tested. I make you have to get a test. I mean, I go get a test, and you get a test. We all get tested same day and check. That's the only way I gamble with that. That don't mean we clean, but at least I know we came in the door together. We didn't have nothing.
How you talking about for a relationship?
Yeah, I would. Right now, I mean, because I'm old now, I'm 54 years old. So if I think I'm not, I probably try that. I probably call it a problem. But hell with it. They get mad. I ain't doing it. Yeah, I ain't doing all that. We ain't kissing. I ain't touching. You gotta get checked out. I want to see the date. I'm gonna do the same thing now. Go both ways now. I'm gonna let you know I'm straight and you straight. Then after that we can move forward. How would you feel about that? You went to something like that. How you feel about that?
I would love it.
Yeah. One more thing, I'll let you have it. Jerry, hey man, I'm gonna say to you, brother, you go to women and you pray to God first if you talk to them. You pray to God first. And you're gonna be all right, man. They got messed for that. But now you gotta worry about them other people. And you gotta know how to talk to them and let them know, they're gonna be all right. Nothing to go get help while you telling them. They're gonna get mad, go in the raid, you need to tell them, hey, how you know it came from me? I don't know. But I'm being a man and telling you about it, stepping to you. I don't know that I give you gave it to me, or where it come from. We don't know. But what I do know, I want you to get checked. Then we'll talk about it later. Go get checked first. You might be blowing up for nothing. You might have ain't got nothing. That's all I want to add to that,
Yeah, I mean, the times that we're living in, unfortunately, everybody's not trustworthy. And I'm saying it because, Demetrius and I do have a past. And when we get it even when we're trying to correct younger people, especially, our children. That people don't want to hear. They look that way. Y'all did it. Yeah, but we was able to make it out. You're not guaranteed to make it out.
That's right.
Like Demetrius said that, here we are and I'm in my late 40s and he's in his 50s. You're not guaranteed, those of you who from 13 and up, guaranteed to have these, very life sentences with no cure on your name. Just because you was not able to hold, have willpower or discipline. And like Demetrius said, you letting another person control the narrative of your life. It's some dirty, nasty people out here, and they don't care about giving it to you. They don't care about giving it to you. And especially ladies, and I'm speaking for us, when we are lonely, we vulnerable, when we have low self-esteem, and we just looking for attention. Remember the three sisters, attention, appreciation, and affection? Long as those sisters are getting met, we lower our guard. we go ahead and we think cause we smiling and texting and getting a few good morning texts, we open the door, not even having common sense. And I know I'm guilty. I'm very guilty. But being able to put yourself in a place that if you don't want this to happen to you, if you don't want your name on the chart, if you don't want somebody who in your past who have gotten a recent diagnosis to realize that, hey, I need to do something. I need to do something.
I said one time, this lady, I watched it on YouTube, she had it, and she said it wasn't her job to tell no man. Yeah. She told him she didn't want to be bothered with them. She didn't want to be, they keep begging, pleading with her. She said, okay, I'm gonna give you what you want. Say, now I told you I didn't want to be bothered with. And you kept on calling and I guess they wouldn't give up. Yeah. And I was like, well, why I got to tell you that I got HIV?
But like I said, those are need to know basis. And I feel like she's obligated. She's obligated to tell them that, yeah, even though if you turn them down and she was an attractive woman, even if you turn them down and people still, want to pursue you, ask them would they want to pursue you if they knew you had HIV? Would they want to pursue you if they know you had the SHV virus 1 and 2? That's the same. That's the short just for saying herpes. Would they still want to talk to you? So you have to just being able to make sure that you ask yourself that when you're gonna expose, you worried about being selfish. Would you want somebody to do that to you? And I think that's probably why she felt that way, Demetrius, because somebody did it to her. So she is still going through the grief stages. It's 5 stages of grief. Everybody go through it.
Won't she go to jail for that? She knows she got it. Won't you go to jail for that?
Yeah, you go to jail for that. But who's gonna go and press charges when they desperately begging you? Who's she's gonna tell?
You saw that about a couple months ago, that man, his wife died from it. They locked his ass up, put him in jail. You saw that?
No.
Yeah, he had HIV, and his wife died from that. And they found he had it. He didn't tell her, and they locked him up in jail. But that girl was saying them boys be begging her. She wasn't telling them nothing. Yeah. So men, y'all be careful. You checking these women. There's a lot of women. She don't want to think about. I tell my wife all the time. There's a lot of people think the way some people think. You might want to do that, but a lot of people, when that girl was talking, they out there running around. Men too feel the same way.
All right, you all. It says Atlanta has one of the highest HIV rates in the U.S. Did y'all hear that for the people in the back? The highest rate of HIV in the United States, particularly in Fulton County and DeKalb County. Those are the key stats from the CDC data. Georgia ranked number 5 in the U.S. for newest HIV diagnosis. New. They say new. Atlanta metro area account for over 50% of Georgia's HIV cases. The demographic of people who are at risk for this disproportionately affect Black African American communities. 70% new diagnoses come from men liking men living a down low life. It's not me. You go and do your statistics and read it.
And I wish y'all man just stop that. If y'all gonna do that, man, tell them women, man. You want to do that? I can't knock your groove, but at least you need to tell them when you know I go both ways now. Give them a charge, man. You ain't got to do them like that. Some women still take you.
Still take you. Yep.
Still take you, man.
Still take you. But and then go ahead, Demetrius.
No, I'm saying I want to go to bed at night with a good heart, man. No, you told the truth. Now if they wanted that was on them, but at least tell them the truth.
How to protect yourself if your partner has HIV? Use condoms. Correct, consistent condoms reduces the transmission risk by 99% for vaginal and anal sex. Vaginal and anal. PrEP, that's PrEP, and it stands for the pre-exposure. So a daily pill, such as Truvada and Descovy, I think that's how you pronounce it. Truvada and Descovy, they lower HIV risk by 99% if you take it as prescribed. Undetectable and untransmittable. If your partner viral load is what you're looking for. These are the tests. I talk about it on my own personal channel about knowing your lab work, knowing that what your numbers are. It's easy to say what you want to have, but guess what? I want y'all to do 911, test me, so you will be able to know how to go get these tests. What tests do I need to be taking? If I'm going to have an STD, if I'm having an accessory, if I'm having infidelity testing, I want you to say 911 because it's an emergency. Test me. Test me 911. So anyway, it's a regular. So viral load is the name of the test that you will be educated about because that is specifically for the HIV. Those are the viral loads. You want to know what your numbers are for that test. And I did a test, Demetrius, I think it's been here a couple years ago. They was doing a health fair at in Gwinnett County, and I went and I did the test. And the man asked me, he said, "You nervous?" And I looked at him, and at first I said no, but then once I was sitting down because we was in public, and then I did get nervous. I got nervous because when you know that when you were younger, you did promiscuous things, and you weren't like, God, this information changed my life. And that's why a lot of people don't go get tested because they want to be in denial. They don't want to know. They having symptoms right now and they don't want to know. That, like Demetrius said, they don't want to tell you. So that way, if you do take them to court, they're gonna say, "Well, you know what? I didn't know I had it, but they had symptoms, and they just didn't go and get checked out because they selfish."
But they go get checked out and they got it and don't tell you. Then they get them, don't they? They knew they had it.
That's right.
Right.
So regular testing, it says you need to get tested is at least every 3 to 6 months for HIV and STDs and STIs is what they call it, sexual transmitted infections. PrEP is a daily IV medication pill for HIV negative people. So let me make sure I educate. The PrEP medication is for people who don't have it. The only way to know that you don't have it if you have to get tested. Get tested so you can prove that you don't have it. Then if you still want to talk to somebody such as Jeremy, you able to do it at ease because it says that it's 99% if you take it as prescribed.
And you taking because somebody you know who got it?
You like I just said, you messing with Jeremy. Jeremy is HIV positive.
I got to know he got it. But take the pill.
Well, no, you ain't got to know he got it, but you doing it to protect you from anybody.
Everybody. What I'm getting at. So I ain't got to be. No, I'm out in the nightlife. I know I'm bothering different people. I need to have that pill in my system. It's out there messing around to protect me.
Yeah, right? But you need to make sure that you don't have it.
Yeah.
So that way it can work at the full capacity.
Y'all hear what you're saying now. I know about that. Yeah, y'all people that running like maniacs in the street, you better go get on it. Tell them how to buy.
Yeah, so you take this pill, and it was a little packet they was giving out at the church. This was, at the health fair. They was giving out the PrEPs. It was like a little box. So anyway, you take that. My thing is, this is what I would do if I was single, and if I knew I could not control my urges, and I had to have intercourse with somebody, and I know that I'm clean, then I would go ahead and test myself, knowing that I'm not HIV positive. So if I go and mess with somebody else, because again, they're not gonna tell you, like Demetrius just said, very few people gonna go ahead and test in front of you. But if it be one of those in the heat of the moments and you done met somebody at the club or whatever, I would have these PrEP on standby and have it in my system if I'm gonna go out there. That way, at least Demetrius, I'm being protected.
Yeah, a lot of that running around the street, hoeing around, just random people got 4 or 5 partners. I had to be on that pill.
Yeah.
So I had to go, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it says. So it says must be prescribed by a doctor. So visit a clinic. They do have a clinic called Aid Atlanta. They do have also Grady. IDP has a low cost option. And they say the side effects to this medication is usually mild nausea or headaches, and they say the headaches are temporarily. Jeremy, I want to just touch on this, and then I know me and Demetrius got to wrap it up because, number one, thank you so much for writing in. Again, this is very informative because a lot of people, it's some people who going through this and they don't have anybody to talk to. They still too shame to come out. So Jeremy, thank you for allowing the Lead Life Experience podcast to kind of take a journey with you through this, to navigate with you on this here journey, because I know it's devastating. How do you want to tell your partner without shame? First, you want to practice. What are you going to say? Keep it simple. I care about you, so I want you to know that I'm HIV positive. I'm on treatment. My viral load is undetectable, or I can't transmit it. That is something that I just gave you like a little script that you want to say, that to let them know that Again, they need to be going to check so they educate them. They looking for the terminology viral load. Is undetectable. Undetectable meaning that you don't have it because it was not able to be caught up on the viral load. Educate yourself. You want to educate yourself, like I said on PrEP. It's PrEP on the options to kind of ease fear, especially if you're going to be out here and say, Jeremy, you have a friend already and you really, really like her. Say she go get tested and she don't have it, but she still want to be involved with you. Make sure y'all taking them necessary precautions so she don't get it. I want you all to think about Magic Johnson. He has it, but his wife Cookie doesn't have it. Cookie didn't leave, and they have lived a healthy life. So, and I'm sure that they still have intimacy. So make sure y'all taking a precaution. Choose the right time, private, calm. You don't want to tell these to your loud mouth friends or family. You already going through enough shame and hurt. Don't tell somebody who's going to broadcast your business or tell your business better than you. You want to make sure you're using the right resources. Like I said, the CDC.com is a very good platform for you to, use and utilize. Put in the CDC, go look up AIDS Atlanta, learn, go find support groups, go and talk to a therapist because this is psychological. This is a new way. This is a new life. It's no cure for it. It would mean that you'll have it for the rest of your life. But, make sure, you're 32, so I don't know if you have children or not, but I'm sure you want some children, and I don't know enough about that part to educate you. What if you do, want to have children? Because again, HIV is in the bloodline, it's in your body fluids. So I would have to have those kind of conversations. And you got to go a little further than me because I don't know that part. Demetrius, do you have anything else?
Hey, just please everyone, share. And get this podcast out to other people. Cause people in this world going through that. Jeremy not the only one. Like you say, Angie. I mean, like you say, Angie say, Jeremy, you ain't the only one, man. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna try to get this thing out here, man. Pass it for you, Jeremy. Maybe we can help somebody else. That's all I want to say, Honey Bunch, on this case.
Yeah, just make sure you utilize all your 1-800s, utilize all your free resources like I told you about. AIDS Atlanta, okay, so the phone number is 1-800-CDC. That's 1-800-832. Yeah, 1-800-232-4636. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week. HIV testing and caseload locator is 1-800-232-6348. And then, of course, the PrEP hotline. If you need more information on where to get this PrEP, or if you feel like, this is something that you need. So this says that it's advice on pre-exposure. Specifically, it's 1-888-448-4911. I'm going to repeat that. 1-888-448-4911. And then, like I said, the number to AIDS Atlanta is 404-870-7700. That's 404-870-7700. And Grady number is 404-616-0607. That's 404-616-0607. That's the Grady line if you close. And I'm going to give you this number because, again, sometimes these life-threatening, you think life is over. I really want you to talk to somebody. If you feel like you are having a mental breakdown and you feel like unaliving yourself, this is for crisis hotline. So this crisis hotline is 1-800-273-TALK. 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255. I want Demetrius and I platform to be where you get resources. We're not just going to tell you about a problem without helping you get to a solution. My name is Angie, and this is the Lead Life Experience Podcast. And again, if you want to get your topics heard, please don't hesitate to text us by texting 833-370-1608. Put relationships in the comments, and I'll let Demetrius close us out.
Well, y'all, thank you, Jeremy, for writing in. And I appreciate y'all listening. And like I say, I want y'all to share this podcast on YouTube, Apple. Please share and like and get as many people you can. Because you never know who out there right now in a bad place in their life. Sitting there right now, thinking about suicide. They don't know that somebody's in this world going through. Let them know they're going to be all right. So share them, they ain't alone. All right, thank y'all. Listen to the Lead Podcast. And we'll see you next week.
All right. The Lead Life Experience Podcast. Peace. Hi, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the episode so far. You are here with the Lead Life Experiences. And remember, if you want to get your topics discussed or get our opinion or our perspective, join us. Text us at 833-370-1608 and put relationships in the comment.